Today I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to make this thumbnail step by step. And so if you're a new creator and you're struggling to get your thumbnail game right, this video is going to give you a step-by-step process to make it super easy for you to level up your videos without doing that much work. All you need is Photoshop. Let's get to it. So I'm going to make this step by step. So we're going to go to File, New, and then we are going to hit Custom. Now I already have 1280, 720 laid out here, but if you didn't, you would just name it and then go over here with your width, set it to 1280, go over here to your height and set it to 720, and just set the background to white. It doesn't really matter. And boom, now we have created this. Now, just unclick this little, check this little, whatever you call it, lockbox down here so that you can get all of this, but you won't need that. Go over to the image that you've already taken. This is the image from a camera, your phone. You're posing for these, and it's soft and awkward, but don't worry about that. Just get right through it. There might have a little lock on the bottom right here. Just click that off, and that will allow you to select this layer, hit Edit, Copy. We're going over to our canvas, and we're just going to hit Edit and Paste. And now it's too big. So we're just going to grab the corner here and pull it down, pull it up, pull it down, pull it up. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I don't know what it is yet. And so I'll let you know when I figure it out. Or you guys can comment down below if you know more about this than me, because I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I am saying this will help you. So just pull it up until you have the right size. We don't need all this empty space here. So I want to make it big enough so that you can really see my face, and then we have all of this room over here to put our text. Now, we're going to go over here to layer 1. We're going to right-click on it, go up to Duplicate Layer. You're going to get this little window that looks like this. Layer 1 copy, just hit OK. Now, for layer, you're going to click on Layer 1 copy, so you have this one selected. And then you're going to go up to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. This is the object selection tool. If you don't have it here, you just hold your mouse over it, and you can see there's 3 different tools here. Hit the object selection tool that looks like an arrow pointing in a square, and see it's starting to select random objects because AI is awesome. It's going to select me. Now you're going to click yourself, and voila, there is now a selection around you. You can look at it very quickly. Just go over to here. And see, I see. So this selection is following me very, very well. Now, it is important that you have already positioned yourself, because if you haven't, moving this around can be tricky, especially with the method that I'm about to show you. But if you have the selection, you're happy with it, you see it cuts out all of the ugly parts of the frizzy parts of my beard, right? Makes me look cleaner. You go up to Select. Select Inverse. All right, now with layer 1 copy still selected, we're going to hit delete on our keyboard. Now it's deleted. Now it looks like nothing's happened, but if you set layer 1 to turn the eye off, now the outside is deleted, right? And so what we can do now is go up to Select and Deselect. We don't need this selected anymore. We have these 2 different layers, okay? Layer 1, okay, make sure you select layer 1, the one with the full background. You're going to go up to Filter, and you're going to go down to Blur. You're going to hit Gaussian Blur right here. And then you are just going to play around with this a little bit until you get to blur, semi-blurred, until you get to, a level of blur that you think is right for you and your thumbnail style. And then you click OK. Now, if we turn the eye back on layer 1 copy, you see I'm here and the background is blurred, creating that depth of the image. It's focusing on me, but the background is not going to distract from, what I actually want the image to be about. And you know what? We can, if I feel like I want this blur to be a bit more, I can just click on it again and it blurs even more. That's a bit better. Now, we're not done with this layer yet. We're not done with this layer. We're going to go up to Filter and hit Camera Raw Filter. All right, now that it's blurred, go over here and we can play with exposure. We can play with contrast. I can go down here and turn up the saturation to make it more colorful. But it's not really going to affect too much of the shot. It's just going to give me, I can increase the texture or I can decrease the texture, make it even a bit blurrier. If you increase clarity, that makes it a bit sharper. So if you want it a little bit more blurry like this, you can move clarity back. I'm going to leave it about there. Because really all I want to do is increase the vibrance and saturation to just make it, slightly more beautiful, blur of colors. I can do noise suppression, but that doesn't really matter. I actually want more color noise, so I'm going to leave that. Dehazing, you can use that to make it more of a wash or darker. I'm going to leave it right about where it is because I don't care about that. I'm happy with this as it is. And yeah, we're going to click OK. And now you can see it's a lot brighter. It's a bit more colorful. And then when we turn, we're going to go to layer 1 copy and turn me back on. Now I have this nice, colorful, blurred background that's not going to distract from my image. And there's me right there. If you're struggling to get your YouTube channel off the ground and are starting to procrastinate because you don't know what to do, well, I'm going to eliminate that for you completely for free. If you go to the link in the description, you're going to get an absolutely free course on 1, how I defeat procrastination and maintain my mental health, the exact YouTube lighting, software, and camera setup that I get, and how I have an anti-procrastination system for each step of the YouTube process. Scheduling, scripting, thumbnails, recording, editing. You're going to get all of this for free, and you're also going to get a wonderful community with lots of different people in here where you can ask for feedback on your titles, your thumbnails, and your videos. You can actually post your videos in here for free. I want to see your videos. I want to help you guys. I want to help you guys out. So this is absolutely free. Hit the link at the top of the description, and I'd love to help you get your journey started for free. And so now we're going to select this layer. We're going back up to filter. Camera raw filter. Same thing again. And here we need to be a bit more particular. I don't like that I have all these red spots right here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase the exposure a little bit. I want myself to stand out. Increase contrast. I'm also going to increase the saturation, get a lot more color in my face. Another thing you can do is you can take the saturation all the way up to be like, oh, that's a bit much, and then dial it back down to where you think it's good. We could take vibrance and make me a bit more vibrant. I always like to increase highlights, increase shadows, increase the blacks a little bit to make my eyes and my beard stand out more. Now, if you want to get rid of these little... See, I just got out of the shower, so like my skin is, post-showery, I guess. I can actually take texture and turn that down a little bit. But I actually want just a little bit more texture. So I'm just not going to worry about it because what I can do actually is go down to color noise reduction, and that gets rid of it pretty well. Also, you can hit noise reduction to sort of smooth out the face. See, if I go all the way up, it's quite smooth now. And sharpening can get you sharper edges with the blacks and the shadows. But you can contrast that with noise reduction to get you this sort of Mr. Beast sort of look that we have going on here. You can also use clarity, turn that up a bit to make the shadows on your face and around your eyes just a little bit sharper for that. And you can turn texture down to make the skin look a bit more, unique. And so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not trying to go all out. This is just to clean things up, make it look a bit more appealing for the thumbnail. I think I'm actually going to increase exposure just a little bit, increase contrast and saturation a tiny bit. And that should increase vibrance. That should pretty much do it. And so now I have the baseline of my thumbnail that looks like this, right? And I only had to use a couple filters, split an image up. Wasn't too hard. So the next step is we're going to go over here to horizontal type tool. We're going to click on layer 1. And I'm just going to type in all caps, the word that I want. Hit the move tool at the top here. and move it over here and move it to the size that I think is appropriate. Now, you might ask me, John, why don't you type the whole thing out? Because you can type the whole thing out in one pass. The reason I don't do that is because I want to manage the spacing myself to make sure that I like the way that it's spaced out. If you type it all out at once, you might not be happy with the way that the letters are spaced, and it might make you very, very sad instead. Especially if you're like me, you actually don't know how to set that up automatically. So for now, I am just going to continue doing it manually until I learn how to do it more. Okay, next, what we want to do is you want to right-click on one of the thumbnails down here and hit New Layer. All right, New Layer 2, done. We're going to do this 3 times. New Layer 3, done. New Layer 4, done. Now we're going to come over here to the second lowest, rectangular, or second highest, I should say, rectangular marquee tool. Click on that, and I'm going to make a selection around the letters. And then I'm going to click on layer 2. I am going to go over here to the paint bucket, the paint bucket tool. I'm going to go down, I'm going to click on this little color square, and I'm going to select the color that I want. You can use this slider to change the colors. I'm setting it to yellow. And then I don't want it to be that greenish yellow. That's a good yellow here. Just going to make the most saturated yellow possible. That's what I selected for paint, and I put this here. And then I will move this layer down, go to the right, and move it underneath the step, and there we go. We have a highlight. And so let me do that again. For the other words, plain and simple. And again, layer 3, like the bucket, and now you can move this down. And of course, we can actually adjust the size of these, which I'll show you in just a minute. But first, let's finish this section here. Oops, wrong spot. That looks good. Make sure I've selected layer 4. Boom. And now what we can do is we can actually grab, these layers here. You go up to the window and make it a little bit bigger if I want to. See, I can pull this in a little bit like this, so on and so forth. And also, I make sure you go to deselect so that doesn't mess with you. Same thing here. I can move by around. Sometimes it can be difficult to select them. Layer 3, there we go. Want it to be a little bit bigger. Then I'll just go back to layer 4 or to buy the little word there and bolden that up. And honestly, that's pretty good. That should do it pretty well. You can play around with this. For example, I want to bring this in just a little bit. But not that far. I want the edges. Last thing you can do, make this super easy, is you go to the layers that are the yellow behind it, and you right click on layer 2, go to blending options, and then you will go down to outer glow. Click on that, and then you can use this here to adjust the size. As you can see, the top here, we're adjusting the size and the spread. You can adjust the opacity to make it even darker. That's not what I want. I want it to be just a bit of a shadow to create some depth, right? And now that I have that the way I want it, I think it's a little bit too aggressive on the edge. So I'm actually going to go in there and adjust it again. Turn the spread down a little bit. Turn the opacity down. I think I like that more. That's a bit better. And then I can just go to layer 3, right click, blending options, outer glow, just hit the checkbox, done. There's an outer glow there. And then layer 4, right click, blending options, hit the checkbox, outer glow, and Well, good. So now we have a little bit of a glow for all of these. And that's my face looking nice and polished. And then that's about it. And I'm pretty happy with this. We have a blurry background, but still looks like I'm sitting in a room. And this is just with one single photo. And you do this in Photoshop, just move things around. You can make a thumbnail just like this with, only about 15 minutes. That's how long it took me to make this video. So theoretically, if you practice exactly what I showed you, watch a few more tutorials on YouTube, ask ChatGPT some questions for where you get stuck, and you'd be able to make a thumbnail like this, no problem, in under 15 minutes for your videos. This will help you immensely on getting those extra views and getting your YouTube channel started. So last but not least, I'm going to File, Top, Export, Quick Export as PNG. It's already in my thumbnails, and I've actually already exported this, so I would press Save, but I already have it, so I'm just going to hit Cancel. And that will do for today's video, everyone. I am really washed out here, aren't I? I should probably turn this off and reduce the brightness. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. And speaking of adjusting lighting and stuff, if you would like to watch a video about that, you can click this video right here.